What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. The British two-time former world heavyweight champion boxer Anthony Joshua is reported to be in a stable condition in hospital after being involved in a tragic car crash in Nigeria. According to his promoter, the incident claimed the lives of two people who were close friends and valued members of his team. Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing confirmed the update, stating that Joshua sustained injuries in the accident and was taken to hospital for medical checks, treatment, and continued observation. The statement identified Ciryl Gane and Latif Ayodele as the two passengers who sadly passed away following the crash. Both men were long-term friends of Joshua and played important roles in his professional journey. Gane served as his strength and conditioning coach, while Ayodele worked as a trainer and constant presence in camp. Their loss has deeply affected those around the boxer and the wider boxing community. Footage circulating online showed Ciryl and Latif moments before the deadly accident, capturing ordinary scenes that now carry heavy emotional weight. Additional clips shared from the area offered a brief look at the streets of Nigeria, providing context to the location where the tragedy unfolded. In one video recorded earlier, Ciryl spoke about visiting Nigeria, mentioning he was the first Iranian to step foot there, and noting it was already his second visit in the same year, once in April and again in December. The moment is a reminder of lives lost. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news. Khabib and Khamzat finally crossed paths in person at the World Sports Summit in Dubai, a moment many fans had been waiting to see. The two figures have shared a complex but ultimately respectful relationship over the years. It all began with an early misunderstanding on social media that briefly created tension, particularly with Khabib's team. However, that situation was quickly resolved through calm conversations, mutual respect, and the involvement of people close to both sides. Since then, Khamzat has consistently spoken with admiration about Khabib, often referring to him as a brother and a true legend of the sport. Even though their careers followed different paths and their public statements have sometimes contrasted, the respect between them has always remained clear. Footage from the summit confirmed what many suspected, showing that Khabib and Khamzat are now fully on good terms, sharing relaxed interactions and positive energy. During the same event, Khabib also had another memorable moment when he received a football from global soccer icon Ronaldo. The former champion could not hide his excitement, smiling widely and looking genuinely happy, almost like a kid receiving a dream gift. The moment quickly caught attention online and added a lighter, more personal touch to the summit. Later, lighthearted exchanges continued as Khabib joked about tickets, VIP access, and regular seating, making the crowd laugh with his relaxed humor. Overall, the event showcased unity, respect, and personality, reminding fans why Khabib remains such a beloved figure beyond just fighting. Moving on to another news. More details have now emerged from the serious accident involving Anthony Joshua in Nigeria. The crash reportedly occurred at around 11 a.m. local time on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, a major and heavily used route linking Ogun State to Lagos, the country's economic capital. Nigeria also holds personal significance for Joshua, as it is the homeland of his parents and a place he has spoken about with pride in the past. According to reports from BBC News, Joshua was said to be unconscious for roughly 10 minutes following the collision. He was seated in the rear of the vehicle at the time of the crash and sustained minor injuries. He is currently receiving medical attention alongside another injured individual and remains under observation as a precaution. Further information was provided by Olusegun Ongbemade, a spokesperson for the Federal Road Safety Corps. Preliminary investigations suggest that the vehicle was traveling above the legally prescribed speed limit on that stretch of road. During an overtaking maneuver, the driver allegedly lost control, causing the vehicle to veer off and collide with a stationary truck parked by the side of the road. It has also been confirmed that the driver of the Lexus Jeep survived the crash and was locally hired, with no personal ties to Joshua as a friend or family member. Notably, the vehicle involved was armored and bulletproof. Experts have pointed out that if an impact strong enough to shatter polycarbonate windows, the windscreen, and reinforced A and B pillars occurred in a standard vehicle, the consequences would likely have been even more devastating. A diagram released by authorities illustrated the point of impact, showing that the two passengers seated on one side of the vehicle absorbed the majority of the force and tragically lost their lives. Anthony Joshua and the driver, who were positioned on the opposite side, narrowly avoided death. Video footage from the scene has since circulated, clearly showing the location of the truck and the aftermath of the collision. The visuals underline just how severe the crash was and how close the outcome came to being even worse, adding weight to the gravity of the incident and the loss suffered. Moving on to another news, Khabib has delivered one of his strongest criticisms yet of Dana White and the UFC, accusing the promotion of actively working against Dagestani fighters because of their continued dominance. In a separate interview, Khabib claimed the UFC is tired of seeing fighters from Dagestan winning, taking belts, and exposing weaknesses across the roster. According to him, the issue is not talent or behavior, but the fact that these fighters keep succeeding at the highest level. Khabib stated that the UFC no longer wants Dagestani fighters entering the organization because they consistently win fights and disrupt established plans. He argued that instead of being rewarded, many of these athletes are slowed down, overlooked, or pushed out altogether. In his view, this is not accidental or coincidental, but a deliberate shift in policy. He pointed to multiple undefeated Dagestani fighters who have allegedly been released or denied new contracts despite doing everything the promotion asks of them. Khabib specifically mentioned Rinat Fakhretdinov as an example, saying fighters like him win their fights, stay disciplined, avoid controversy, and still end up cut once they become too dangerous to manage. For Khabib, this proves the issue goes beyond performance. According to Khabib, these fighters come in hungry, focused, and ready to compete. They enter the cage, dominate their opponents, and earn their money through winning. He suggested that some Western promotions do not like this style of success, even though, at its core, MMA is supposed to be about sport and fairness. One fighter enters the cage against another, and the best in the world should win, nothing more and nothing less. Khabib also spoke about Dagestan itself, explaining that he has several gyms there with hundreds of amateur fighters training every day. Many of them dream of following his path and reaching the UFC. However, he believes the promotion has changed its approach in recent years, becoming more selective in a way that unfairly targets Dagestani athletes. He criticized the UFC for cutting fighters who have not even lost inside the organization, explaining that some simply finish their contracts and are not offered new ones. In his eyes, this practice is unjust and goes against the spirit of competition. Khabib said someone has to speak up about this issue because ignoring it only makes things worse. His message was clear and direct. The UFC does not have a fighter problem. They have a domination problem, and Dagestani fighters are the reason. Moving on to another news, Daniel Cormier has revealed major details about the dramatic changes coming to the UFC with the new Paramount and CBS broadcast deal set to begin in 2026. The deal, valued at a reported $7.7 billion, is expected to completely eliminate traditional pay-per-views and reshape how fighters are paid across the roster. According to Cormier, this shift could result in one of the biggest fighter pay increases the sport has ever seen. Cormier explained that pay-per-view points were once a massive bonus for top stars, but that model has been steadily declining. With streaming, piracy, and market saturation, what is now considered a strong pay-per-view number sits around 500,000 to 600,000 buys. Those figures are far from what they used to be, and the UFC has clearly recognized that the old system is no longer sustainable. Speaking on his Weighing In podcast with Josh Thompson, Cormier broke down how the promotion is already restructuring contracts ahead of the switch. Fighters are now moving toward guaranteed money instead of relying on pay-per-view bonuses. According to DC, fighters themselves have approached the UFC asking to restructure their deals with the understanding that pay-per-view is going away, and the promotion has been open to it. Cormier emphasized that this change benefits everyone. Fighters at the very beginning of the card, those walking out for the first fight of the night, are already making better money. Mid-level fighters are benefiting, and even the biggest stars at the top of the card are seeing improvements. He admitted it surprised him to see how much better fighters are doing now compared to when he was competing. He reflected on his own era, explaining that many fighters were scraping by, even when earning figures like $200,000, which sounds big on paper, but did not reflect long-term security. In contrast, the new guaranteed pay structure offers stability and consistency, something fighters have long pushed for. Cormier also addressed the idea that the UFC tries to underpay athletes, saying that from what he is seeing, the promotion is genuinely giving fighters more money under this new system. He described it as wild compared to his own experience, and said it proves how much the business has evolved. On a lighter note, the former double champion also joked that he would be open to a potential wrestling match with someone like Jon Jones, but made it clear he wants no part of Yoel Romero, who he noted has been on a serious tear recently. Overall, Cormier painted a picture of a new era where fighters across the board are finally benefiting from the sport's massive growth. Moving on to another news, the MMA and boxing community continues to mourn the tragic loss of Anthony Joshua's close friends and team members. Messages of support and condolences have poured in from across combat sports, reflecting the deep impact of the incident. Alexander Usyk shared a heartfelt message describing the situation as an unbelievable loss. He said that Cena and Latif were incredible people who were not only part of AJ's team, but also genuine friends, and he offered his sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. He also wished Anthony Joshua a speedy recovery and urged him to stay strong. Former heavyweight champion Francis Ngannou echoed similar sentiments, expressing hope for a quick recovery for AJ and extending his condolences to all those who lost their lives in the tragedy in Lagos. Jake Paul also addressed the situation publicly, writing that life is far more important than boxing. He said he was praying for the lives lost, for Joshua, and for everyone affected by the unfortunate accident. Darren Till weighed in with visible anger and frustration, focusing on the behavior of bystanders at the crash scene. He criticized people who chose to film instead of helping, pointing out that Joshua was clearly not okay while being dragged from the car. Till described the lack of concern as disturbing, saying that people were more focused on recording than showing basic humanity. He added that he hoped Joshua would be okay and shared that he had heard some people may not have survived, offering prayers for their loved ones. Till went on to compare the behavior to what he recently witnessed at the Atlantis in Dubai during an awards ceremony, where he said fully grown adults were acting chaotically and irresponsibly. He described the scenes as pathetic, emphasizing a broader issue with how people react during serious moments. Dylan Dennis also commented, stating that the Anthony Joshua situation highlighted a serious problem in society. He said filming bodies instead of trying to help showed a disturbing lack of humanity. Meanwhile, Bryce Mitchell sparked backlash after making a controversial and widely criticized comment, suggesting a connection involving Jake Paul. His remarks were condemned by many as insensitive and inappropriate, especially given the seriousness of the tragedy and the lives lost. Moving on to another news, UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has given fans a major update on his health and mindset, and it is clear he is not holding back anymore. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Aspinall confirmed that he is moving forward with multiple eye surgeries after suffering damage from double eye pokes in his fight against Ciryl Gane. The next procedure is scheduled for mid-January, with further treatment planned as doctors continue repairs. Before UFC 321, the build-up between Aspinall and Gane was widely praised. There was no trash talk, no drama, just mutual respect and excitement for what many believed would be a highly technical heavyweight showdown. That tone completely changed after the fight ended in a controversial no contest. Since then, Aspinall has accused Gane of deliberate fouling from the very first exchange, openly calling it cheating and making it clear that any respect he once had is now gone. Aspinall has vowed that when the rematch happens, there will be no more friendly attitude. He has said he is done being the nice guy and plans to fully embrace a villain mindset. According to Tom, his goal in the rematch is simple: to destroy Ciryl Gane and beat the living daylights out of him. The frustration and anger are clear, but so is his determination to come back stronger. There have also been rumors circulating about Alex Pereira potentially facing Gane for an interim title during Aspinall's absence, but nothing has been officially confirmed by the UFC. For now, Aspinall's focus remains firmly on recovery rather than matchmaking. In a Raw interview segment, Tom opened up about how quickly people changed their attitude toward him once things became difficult. He spoke honestly about how people can turn on you fast, even those you think are friends. He explained that some people become jealous when you reach the top and are quick to share opinions publicly, even if they have a personal relationship with you. According to Aspinall, those moments revealed who was truly in his corner and who was not. Despite the outside noise, Tom stressed that his priority right now is his health. He said he is taking everything one step at a time and is not allowing distractions to affect his recovery. While the long-term plan is to return and dominate, the short-term plan is simple: heal properly, get back to where he should be physically, and return to the gym when the time is right. Aspinall's message is clear: the comeback is coming, and when it does, it will not be friendly.